What's going on, everybody? Payneblade back here again from server 1 representing IC. And guys, today's the last day for the boys on the battlefield banner, so I decided to finally release the three-way this time, not two-way, unit versus unit versus unit. And today we're going to be talking about Kakashi versus Obito versus Minato. Now Minato we have 30 days to summon, but the FG is still very limited. But these two guys, the Abyss is actually over as of today, and there's been no sign of a new banner. So let's discuss, out of the three of these guys, who is the best unit that was released. Okay, so first thing we're going to look at, as usual, is the artwork. You've already seen Kakashi's, you've seen Obito's, now you're looking at Minato's. Now I love all three of these. The color schematics for Obito and for Minato and Kakashi are very similar in terms of color backgrounds, but I find the Minato one is much better. Now the red in the Obito and the style is amazing, but unfortunately I think there's just a little too much confidence and a little too much thought into the Minato ones. I love the flying Raijin move there, and he looks incredible in this. So I'm gonna actually have to give this one to my boy Minato. The artwork is impeccable, and I hope Bandai continues this trend in terms of creating such great artwork for these characters. Obito's no slouch, neither is Kakashi, but this one just gets over to him. Now let's look at some stats. Now we got 2 URs versus an SR. Okay, so Minato, you can see there, has better stats than Kakashi. Kakashi's at 6 stars, Minato's at 5, and Obito's at 5 as well too. This one is pretty clear, guys. From the crit to the crit rate to the damage increase rate to everything across the board, Obito wins this one pretty easily. Considering how much he brings to the table as a damage dealer, he definitely has a leg up on the competition. So make sure, guys, if you have him, you build him, because he's going to do wonders for you, and I promise that. Alright guys, now going to the kits. Now here's Kakashi's kit. He's got a very unique kit. Now this is what I loved about him. He has a attack on defense shinobi extra damage. He lowers their damage reduction rate for all defense enemies, and he lowers all damage increase rate for all attack enemies. His skill 2 also increases all T units attack, and his trait gives ally damage increase rate and critical rate. As long as you're faster than your opponent, this buff will continue working on all active allies throughout the battle, as long as each cell is quicker. So Kakashi honestly is probably one of the best supports to have come out in a very long time, so give him credit for that for sure. Now let's take a look at Obito's kit. Now Obito has insane damage, guys. He does a burn as well too. He deals 27.82% extra damage if his HP is above 50%. He lowers the DIR of all targets and also lowers the target's damage reduction rate by 38.76%. His skill 2 actually boosts his own attack and critical rate, and his trait gives all active allies 22.52% extra attack. And his LB2, we'll talk about that later, but it also boosts his own attack and chakra as long as an ally gets killed, and that lasts for the rest of the battle, so that stacks. So he is a monster in every possible damage sense. Now Minato, one cool thing about him is he lowers the damage reduction rate of the opponent first before doing his jutsu, and he deals 28.76% when he's attacking first, and boosts his own damage increase rate by 11.88%, and that will stack for the rest of the battle. So as long as he does it, he's a build-up character. Now his S2 gives all active allies 4.44% of DIR for the rest of the battle, which will also stack if you continue doing it, and he boosts the cell's attack by 22.52%. So pretty good kit for a T unit, but unfortunately he's lacking a little bit. The uniqueness of the kit actually will end up going to Kakashi, not because he's got the best damage, just because he's got the most unique kit. So Kit Kakashi wins that one. Alright guys, let's look at some LB2s now. Now Obito boosts his own attack and chakra for his LB2 when an ally dies. Kakashi boosts all damage reduction rate and guard rate for all tactical shinobis, and also boosts all damage reduction rate and guard rate for all allied defense shinobis. And then for Minato, he boosts damage increase rate for his 3-man cell. Alright, so guys, the clear winner here is going to be Obito. Oh, not because he's got the more unique one or anything, but just because it fits him perfectly with the rest of his kit, especially if you don't have people like Sai. So Obito definitely wins this one, guys. Alright, now moving on to Vitality. Now this is pretty straightforward, guys. Minato and Obito both have the same Chakra 5k abilities, so this is a clear one. This goes to both of them. So there's going to be a little bit of a tie here in terms of the winners there. Okay, so basic attacks. There's Kakashi's. There's Obito's. Pretty straightforward. And there's Minato's. I mean, come on. Minato obviously wins this one. This is an easy one. There's no question about it. That one goes to him. Basic attack, he definitely wins. Now, in terms of the actual jutsu animations, we'll take a quick look and see. There's Kakashi's. Alright. There is Obito's. Now this is a little too straightforward in my opinion. I wish they made this one a little better, more unique. And it looks like an AoE. And then of course we know the infamous Flying Raijin against the Masked Man. They've done a really good job replicating it. So I mean guys, pretty straightforward. I mean if it wasn't Minato, it was going to be Kakashi, but in this case for sure Minato wins this one. So the animation, they've done a fantastic job. And speaking of animations, we've added in the tribes now. So now I'm looking at the two-man tribe between Minato and Naruto. Now this is an A tribe between the two of them. And remember, you can use the SR version or the UR version. So that kind of gives two URs if you have the other version. And then here we go, the three-man tribe with Jiraiya, Naruto, and Minato. Again, using, this is called Bond by Rasen. So it's going to be all Rasengans, but I think it's one of the coolest looking ones. And you can have 3 URs for this if you actually have UR Naruto as well too. It does pretty good damage on D units especially. Alright, now let's take a look at the boys on the battlefield tribe. So this is actually one of my favorite tribes in the game, and clearly they put a lot of thought process into this because you can see the cohesiveness with the 2 units. The animation is fantastic. I believe this comes from the Storm games, and then you can look at the flashback there of Obito unlocking Sharingan. So clearly guys, my opinion, Kakashi and Obito will win this one for animation purposes, but in terms of damage and overall use, Minato definitely gets this one for both actually. So here's the thing. What does Minato bring to the table? So Minato brings to you a couple things that will make him worth it. He's a good buffer. His damage against D units is fantastic because he's a T. Good in Abyss and FG because of his tribe as well as what he brings, and he's good in PvP. Okay, he's just good in PvP though. Alright, now let's look at Kid Kakashi's. Kid Kakashi's kit is very unique, as I mentioned in the beginning. Amazing buffer and a debuffer. He brings good damage in PvE and excels in ATB. He's a great support, and he has a very unique kit, and he's actually fantastic in PvP. So he's a great support, guys. Mostly he's a support than anything else. Remember that. And then lastly, Obito. Now Obito is the surprise here, okay? So Obito actually is the top 3 damage in the game with Kakashi and Heavy, the top 1 damage if you're brand new. He's a good buffer for an A unit, he excels in every mode, and he's a top single target damage percentage in the game at the moment, and does it by doing a ton of damage in every single PvP mode. So clearly guys, the winner in this one is going to be Obito. A lot of people thought it was going to be Minato, but if you pulled Obito, you definitely got the best unit out right now. So guys, congratulations. I hope this helped out, and hope you guys are enjoying these units versus units. This is Payne. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon.